How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here to give you your daily stimulus check and unemployment benefits updates and the latest information. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube, which is what I try to provide here on this channel.
What is odd about what is happening right now is that gas prices are actually dropping. That's good news, but demand is increasing here in the United States. Now, what experts truly believe is that this recent drop in prices is actually just due to the simple fact that China is having massive lockdowns, and the global demand was actually taken down last week. Okay? That's the only reason why, but experts are also predicting that demand will increase very soon, so they are expecting prices will continue to rise throughout April. That's scary because at over $4 a gallon, it's already fairly expensive. Now, from these rising prices though, what you need to keep in mind is that right now, what we're seeing is Democrats are trying, or attempting at least, to pass a bill to provide relief to the American people. Now, really this is coming as either a gas card or some type of stimulus, but the goal is to help the American people with pain at the pumps. But according to top Republicans, they are saying, and they said today, and they've been talking about this over the past week, is that they are actually slamming both of the proposals that Democrats have really laid out because they are saying these are simply gimmicks. This is exactly what Senator John Thune said today, is that this is just a gimmick leading into the midterm elections. Now, I've said this before. I will say it again, that both of these proposals were revealed. Okay, yes. And one was talking about pulling about 50% of profits from large oil companies to give the American people a somewhat stimulus check quarterly. That would be very beneficial. The other one was give $100 per person per month to the American people. That was another proposal that would definitely have helped. But what we are going to see, we're going to see a lot of these games, a lot of these political games, because here's the hard part. Right now, politicians are going to be toying with the American people. Yes, Democrats provided these proposals, and great. I think some have merit, some have their good starting point. Neither one's going to pass. But at the same time, and again, you can hate on Democrats all you want for that, but at the same time, Republicans are going to be bashing Democrats here, saying, these aren't going to pass. Why even bother? These are just going to create additional inflation, which they are. Now, what's going to happen right now is that the American people aren't going to get a gas card. We're not going to get a stimulus check, at least not at this point. But if we were to see either one of those things, and the main goal is to help with rising gas prices, right? The reason why I say rising gas prices is because it's rising slowly right now. Actually, it's decreasing, but normally it was rising slowly. If we were to provide an additional either gas card or stimulus check, we would see higher inflation across the board. And so $4.25 gas would actually be a steal because it's probably going to be closer to $5 if we were to do something like that. So what's happening right now is, and again, this is something that we're going to see all the time, is what's happening right now is we do not have support. And what Democrats are trying to do is Democrats are trying to get support, some support really, for President Biden's economic agenda. Now, right now, Democrats are trying to make backroom deals with Senator Joe Manchin. And pretty much, whether it's with him or for him, that's the question. Because at this time, I'm not seeing any reports that Senator Joe Manchin's the one making the deals, but what he has is a demand, right? Reduce inflation, reduce our national deficit. Now, there's no guarantee that Senator Joe Manchin even wants anything to do with these negotiations, but at least Democrats are trying. So, we'll see. What we do know, though, is Democrats recently scheduled hearings on things like, child care, climate, in-home care for elderly, and even universal pre-K. Today, the Senate Help Committee, they actually held a hearing on childcare and universal pre-K, but the goal as of this point is just to figure out how they could lower childcare costs for working parents. Keyword on this is working. And I said this before, I'll say it again. Senator Joe Manchin is a believer, an avid believer, that if you are going to get any benefit, you must be working at this time. So that is what they have put into this, is you have to be a working parent. Now, what classifies as working? Honestly, I don't know. We will find that out when, honestly, the Senate finds that out. Now, the other committee holding a hearing was the Senate Finance Committee. This actually happened last week. And last week they talked about lowering prescription drug costs. Now, the goal with this is to make sure that the U.S. can be the ones to negotiate with the drug companies directly, so that ultimately we can pay a lower price. Because we are the only country, again, the only country that just, okay, this is what it costs, this is what you need to pay. United States is like, all right, let's do it. Every other country negotiates. We don't. And this is why we have some of the highest costs in the entire world. Now, for months, Senator Joe Manchin has told Democrats to hold hearings on the Build Back Better Act. That's what he said. Hold the hearings and let's move forward. Democrats didn't do that until now. So the expectation is that we are going to see some movement here. But really my question is, how important could this be to Democrats if they waited so long to finally just start the process, when Senator Joe Manchin's been saying we should have been starting this months ago? Now, my only guess, again, just a guess, is we are now seeing these discussions because we're getting closer to the midterm elections. That's it. And my guess is that was probably the plan all along, but Democrats were very, very coy with the way they wanted to do this, so here's where we are. Now, something else I want to discuss is Social Security. I want to talk about Social Security because right now, many people are saying that anybody on a fixed income is going to be left behind in these very tough times. Well, I can ask this one question. Who hasn't been left behind in the past 2 years if they've been on a fixed income? And if you're one of those people, you are on Social Security, you're on a fixed income, whatever it may be, let me know. Have you been having a difficult time over the past 2 years? Because my guess is yes, 100% yes. Now, experts understand how important helping Ukraine is. And I don't think anybody here would disagree that we must do something because people's lives are on the line. A country is invading into another country and pretty much kicking people out. Now, what experts have said is that providing $13.6 billion to Ukraine within days of being asked, that was a big move by Congress. Now, at the same time, when officials have asked for relief to Social Security recipients, nothing has ever come from it. And that's a real issue. And so one of the things that I can tell you right now is that many lawmakers are questioning how things are done. And even one lawmaker asked and questioned how funding for other countries can go through so quickly. But when it comes to finding money for Social Security, the fiscal year 2022 request was actually cut by $1 billion. Now, I want to read this. This is something that actually came out from The Hill. There was an article that was done on The Hill today. And I want to read what was said in this, because I thought this was just mind-boggling. Here's what it says. It is also important to note that the appropriators compounded their mistakes in the funding bill by only cutting the customer service portion of SSA's budget and leaving the amount for continuing disability reviews, those are called CDRs, and redeterminations fully funded. CDRs and redeterminations, which account for 13% of SSA's budget, are designed to remove disability beneficiaries with improved health or circumstances from the rolls. But the process is so lacking in scientific merit that it really removes disability beneficiaries whose mental and physical impairments are so severe that they cannot keep up with SSA's paperwork requirements. So, simply put, in the funding bill, the government funding bill, appropriators cut the customer service portion, but they left in CDRs. And CDRs is going to remove disability beneficiaries that have improved health. That's an issue if improved health or circumstances from the roles, which would mean they are so lacking in really in their mental health, they cannot go and fill out paperwork. How screwed up is that? Now, I just wanted to read you that because when I read that, I was like, this is insane that would be passed. And again, here's the issue. This bill was passed so quickly, nobody read it. Absolutely nobody read it. They didn't have time to read it. So guess what? They voted on it, said, yep, I agree, let's pass it. That's exactly what they did, and, well, here we are. And let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below, because I think that was very interesting. Now, let's talk about mortgage rates for a second and how they are actually surging so fast that right now economists are predicting lower home sales this year. Because we're actually seeing the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage, it has hit 4.72% just today. Now, with rising rates from the Fed, this is only going to go higher. And right now, some are expecting that we could see the housing market decline anywhere between 10 and 20% throughout 2022. That would be a huge decline, all right? That would also be a prime opportunity to buy real estate if you can actually afford it. But again, as rates go up, values or property usually goes down. If you're coming in as a cash buyer, you're going to be great. But if you have to get a loan, obviously it's going to be a little bit tougher because obviously rates are going up, which means your buying power goes back down. Now, the reason I want you to be well aware of these rising rates is because it doesn't just impact home buyers. It impacts renters, because as a landlord buys a property, that means you probably have a higher rent. It impacts commercial businesses, okay? Because if the property owner, right, has a higher loan amount, right, has a higher rate, well, chances are you might have to pay a little bit more, right? And so much more. There's a lot of things that get impacted by rising rates, and you need to be well aware of it.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube. Have a good one.